Imagine this. You wake up in the morning, the sunlight peeks through your window, but instead of feeling energized, you notice the stiffness in your knees, the heaviness in your back, and the lack of energy that makes even standing up feel like a chore. Many seniors quietly accept this as just aging. But here is the truth. Those aches, that fatigue, and the loss of vitality are not an inevitable destiny. They are signals. Signals your body is sending, telling you that it is running low on the very fuel that keeps your joints smooth and your energy flowing. Now, here is the surprising part. Sometimes the very foods we believe are keeping us healthy may actually be quietly working against us, inflaming our joints, draining our energy, and speeding up the wear and tear of our bodies. At the same time, other foods, often simple, accessible vegetables, can serve as powerful medicine, recharging our energy reserves, soothing inflammation, and giving strength back to our bones and joints. Why does this matter? Because your joints are not just hinges connecting your bones. They are living tissues surrounded by cartilage, nourished by tiny blood vessels, and supported by an immune system that constantly repairs damage. When inflammation sneaks in, it erodes this delicate balance, leaving joints stiff, painful, and fragile. And when your metabolism is struggling, your body cannot efficiently turn food into energy, leaving you drained. Food has the power to either accelerate that decline or completely change the game. Here is what is really happening inside your body. Every bite you take sends a message to your cells. Some foods whisper, heal, repair, protect. Others shout, inflame, break down, exhaust. If we choose wisely, we can shift the biology of aging in our favor. In this talk, I want to take you on a journey, one that is both scientific and deeply human. We are going to uncover 3 vegetables that seniors should avoid because of their hidden effects on joints and energy. And then we will highlight 3 vegetables that act almost like natural medicine, helping to strengthen your joints, boost your energy, and extend the quality of your years. This is not about strict rules or fear. It is about empowerment. Imagine your kitchen as your personal pharmacy, your meals as prescriptions, and your grocery basket as a toolkit for joint strength and vitality. By the end of this talk, you will know exactly which vegetables to keep on your plate and which ones to swap out, so that every meal becomes a step toward more freedom, more energy, and more life. So, let us dive into the science, the stories, and the strategies that can help you reclaim your strength and enjoy your senior years with energy and mobility that may surprise you. Let us begin with a vegetable that often shows up on dinner tables, in soups and on pizzas, the tomato. Now, before you panic, let me be clear. Tomatoes are packed with lycopene, an antioxidant that protects your heart and your skin, but for many seniors struggling with joint pain, tomatoes and other vegetables in the nightshade family, such as peppers, eggplants, and white potatoes, can be a hidden source of trouble. Here is what is really happening inside your body. Nightshades contain natural compounds called alkaloids. One of them, solanine, acts as a natural pesticide for the plant. But when it enters our body, especially in higher amounts, it can irritate the lining of the gut. For some people, this irritation translates into a low-grade immune reaction, fueling inflammation that settles in the joints. Imagine your immune system as a vigilant security guard. Instead of focusing on true threats like viruses or bacteria, it gets distracted, pulled into unnecessary battles, stirred up by compounds in these vegetables. The result? More stiffness, more swelling, more pain. Think about it this way. Your cartilage is like the smooth cushion between 2 bones, allowing them to glide. But inflammation acts like pouring sand into the gears of a finely tuned machine. Movement becomes rougher, more uncomfortable, and over time, damaging. For seniors already dealing with thinning cartilage or osteoarthritis, this can make the difference between walking with ease and struggling with every step. Research has started to validate what many people notice anecdotally. A study published in 2020 examined dietary triggers in patients with osteoarthritis and rheumatoid arthritis. Those who reduced or eliminated nightshade vegetables reported measurable improvements in joint stiffness and pain scores within weeks. While not everyone is sensitive, for those who are, the effect is dramatic. Now, let me make this practical. I am not saying you need to completely banish tomatoes or peppers from your life forever. Instead, try a 2-week experiment. Take them off your plate entirely for 14 days. Notice how your joints feel. Is it easier to get out of bed? Is climbing stairs less of a burden? If you notice a change, you may have uncovered a powerful key to reclaiming mobility. So, what can you eat instead? Swap white potatoes for sweet potatoes, which are rich in beta-carotene and fiber, but do not contain the same joint-irritating alkaloids. If you love the color and freshness of peppers, experiment with carrots or roasted squash. If pasta sauce without tomatoes feels unthinkable, try a roasted red pepper, free basil pesto, or even a creamy cauliflower sauce. Your taste buds will adapt, and your joints may thank you for it. And here's a deeper layer. Reducing inflammatory triggers does more than protect your knees or hips. It helps your entire energy system. Inflammation is an energy thief. Every unnecessary immune reaction diverts energy away from your brain, your muscles, your heart. That is why many people who lower their intake of inflammatory foods report not just less pain, but clearer thinking and a surprising boost of vitality. This is the beauty of food as medicine. A simple shift in what you put on your plate can reduce the background noise of inflammation that has been stealing your energy for years. If this is resonating so far, subscribe for more science-backed health strategies, because every week we uncover practical ways to take back control of your biology and feel more alive. So the takeaway for our first insight is this: nightshade vegetables like tomatoes, peppers, eggplants, and white potatoes may worsen joint inflammation for some seniors. If you struggle with stiffness or fatigue, try a short elimination experiment. Pay attention to your body. You may be surprised at how much lighter and freer you feel when you give your joints a break. Now let us turn to another type of vegetable that may surprise you, the starchy ones. Think about corn, peas, and even large servings of white potatoes. They are familiar, comforting, and often a staple side dish on dinner plates. But here is the hidden truth. These vegetables can quietly sabotage both your joints and your energy. Here is what is really happening inside your body. When you eat starchy vegetables, they break down quickly into glucose, sugar. This causes your blood sugar to rise rapidly, followed by a surge of insulin, the hormone that helps shuttle sugar into your cells. For younger people with a more flexible metabolism, that surge can often be managed. But for seniors, whose insulin sensitivity often declines with age, these spikes can lead to a roller coaster effect, a burst of energy followed by a crash. Over time, repeated spikes also increase inflammation and can accelerate the breakdown of cartilage in the joints. Imagine your bloodstream as a calm river. A balanced meal keeps the waters flowing steadily. But when you load the river with excess starch, it is like dumping in logs all at once. The flow becomes turbulent, chaotic, and damaging to the riverbanks. Inside your body, that turbulence looks like oxidative stress and inflammation, both of which chip away at your joint health. Science has made this link very clear. A 2021 study published in Arthritis Research and Therapy showed that people with diets high in rapidly digestible starches had more severe joint pain and faster cartilage degradation compared to those who kept their carbohydrate load lower and focused on fiber-rich vegetables. High blood sugar does not just affect diabetes risk, it literally feeds the inflammatory fire in the joints. And here is why energy suffers. When insulin spikes repeatedly, your cells can become resistant, less responsive to the hormone signal. That means sugar stays longer in the blood rather than fueling your muscles and brain. The result? Fatigue, brain fog, and that afternoon slump many seniors think is normal aging. It is not. It is the biology of poor blood sugar control. So, what can you do about this? First, you do not need to eliminate all starchy vegetables, but portion control is key. Instead of filling half your plate with corn or peas, try making them a small side, no more than 1/4 of the plate. Second, balance them with fiber and protein. Pairing a small portion of corn with leafy greens and grilled salmon slows digestion and prevents the blood sugar surge. Better yet, consider swapping some starchy vegetables with lower glycemic options. Zucchini noodles instead of pasta, cauliflower mash instead of white mashed potatoes, roasted carrots or beets instead of corn. These swaps not only stabilize your energy, but also add antioxidants that actively protect your joints. Let me give you a practical tip. If you enjoy potatoes, go for new or baby potatoes rather than large russet potatoes. The smaller varieties have a lower glycemic impact, and always cook them, cool them, and then reheat. This process creates resistant starch, which acts like fiber and slows the release of sugar. That is a simple kitchen trick that transforms a blood sugar spike into a steadier release of energy. Now, why does this matter so much for joint health? Elevated blood sugar creates molecules called advanced glycation end products. Scientists call them AGGs for short. These molecules stiffen proteins in your body, including collagen in your joints. Imagine pouring glue into the flexible cushion of your cartilage. It hardens, loses its bounce, and every step feels more like grinding than gliding. That is what repeated blood sugar spikes do inside your knees and hips. But here is the empowering part. You can reverse this process by simply shifting the balance on your plate. Fewer starch-heavy vegetables, more colorful, fiber-rich ones. You lower the burden of sugar on your system. Your joints stay more supple, and your energy becomes more consistent. So the second key takeaway is this. While starchy vegetables like corn, peas, and white potatoes may be fine in small amounts, making them the star of your plate can drain your energy and inflame your joints. Instead, keep them in moderation and lean on fiber-rich swaps that keep your river of blood sugar calm and steady. The third group of vegetables we need to talk about may surprise you because they often carry a health halo. I am talking about certain leafy greens that are very high in oxalates, such as spinach, beet greens, and Swiss chard. Now, these vegetables are packed with nutrients. There is no denying that. But for seniors who are already struggling with joint stiffness, kidney concerns, or low energy, high oxalate foods can create hidden problems. Here is what is really happening inside your body. Oxalates are natural compounds found in plants. Their job is to help the plant defend itself from pests. But inside the human body, oxalates bind tightly to minerals like calcium and magnesium. When oxalates and calcium join together, they can form tiny crystals. Imagine grains of sand forming inside your joints or urinary tract. These microscopic crystals can irritate tissues, fuel inflammation, and in some cases, contribute to kidney stone formation. For joints, the problem is irritation. If you already have thinning cartilage or inflammation, those sharp oxalate crystals can act like adding salt to an open wound. They heighten pain signals and reduce mobility. For energy, the issue is mineral depletion. Remember, magnesium is essential for your muscles to relax and for your mitochondria, your cellular powerhouses, to produce energy. If oxalates are constantly binding magnesium, you end up with less available fuel for both your muscles and your metabolism. Think of your body like a car engine. Magnesium is the spark plug that keeps the engine running smoothly. Too many oxalates steal that spark plug, and suddenly your engine sputters. You feel more fatigued, more sluggish, and your joints ache more deeply. The science here is clear. A 2019 study from the Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that diets excessively high in oxalate-rich vegetables increase markers of oxidative stress and inflammation in older adults. Another study highlighted that patients with arthritis often reported reduced pain when lowering their intake of high oxalate greens, while replacing them with lower oxalate alternatives. Now, this does not mean you must give up all leafy greens, but it does mean being strategic. Spinach, beet greens, and Swiss chard are on the high oxalate end of the spectrum. Kale, romaine lettuce, arugula, and bok choy, on the other hand, are lower in oxalates, but still rich in vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. These alternatives give you the joint protection and the energy boost without the hidden irritants. Here is a practical protocol you can try. If you love spinach salads, swap half of the spinach with arugula or romaine. If you make smoothies, use kale instead of raw spinach. If you enjoy sautéed greens, try bok choy or collard greens. And here is a simple cooking trick. Boiling high oxalate greens for just a few minutes can reduce their oxalate content by nearly half. That means if you do occasionally enjoy spinach, lightly blanching it first makes it more joint friendly. Pay attention to how your body responds. Many seniors report that after reducing high oxalate greens, they notice less stiffness in the morning, less swelling in their hands, and even more consistent energy throughout the day. These small changes, repeated meal after meal, accumulate into a big difference in how your body feels and functions. If this message resonates, remember to subscribe for more science-based health strategies, because every week we explore how food choices can transform your daily experience of aging. So here is the takeaway. High oxalate vegetables like spinach, beet greens, and Swiss chard, while nutrient-dense, can bind your minerals, irritate your joints, and sap your energy. Swap them for lower oxalate greens like kale, romaine, and bok choy. Your joints will feel lighter, your energy steadier, and your body more resilient. Now that we have looked at the vegetables that can quietly drain your strength, let us focus on the ones that can help you rebuild it. The first vegetable to embrace is kale. This humble leafy green has become a bit of a superstar in the nutrition world, and for good reason. For seniors, kale is like a natural shield for your joints and a charger for your energy. Here is what is really happening inside your body. Kale is rich in vitamin K, a nutrient essential for bone health. Vitamin K helps regulate calcium, directing it away from soft tissues where it can cause stiffness and into your bones where it builds strength. Imagine it as a traffic cop guiding cars at a busy intersection. Without that guidance, calcium can get stuck in the wrong places. With vitamin K, it is directed right into the bone matrix, keeping your skeleton sturdy and your joints mobile. But that is not all. Kale also contains powerful antioxidants, such as lutein and beta-carotene, which reduce oxidative stress inside your joints. Oxidative stress is like rust slowly eating away at metal. Over time, it breaks down cartilage and accelerates joint aging. By neutralizing that rust, kale protects the smooth glide of your joints. For energy, kale delivers a different gift: magnesium and iron. Magnesium supports mitochondrial function, helping your cells convert food into usable energy. Iron helps carry oxygen in your blood, fueling your muscles and brain. Together, they act like the wiring and the spark of an electrical system. Without them, lights flicker. With them, everything glows steadily. The science is compelling. A 2022 study from Harvard researchers found that older adults with higher intake of dark leafy greens like kale had stronger bone density, less joint pain, and significantly lower risk of mobility decline over a 10-year period. Another study linked daily consumption of cruciferous vegetables, the family kale belongs to, with lower systemic inflammation and slower biological aging. So, how can you practically bring kale into your life? Start simple. Add a handful of baby kale to your morning smoothie. Sauté it lightly with olive oil and garlic as a side dish at dinner. Or make a kale salad, massaging the leaves with a little olive oil and lemon juice to soften them. If you enjoy soups, chop kale and stir it into lentil or chicken broth during the last few minutes of cooking. And here's a tip: pairing kale with healthy fats like olive oil or avocado helps your body absorb its fat-soluble vitamins, including vitamin K and beta-carotene. So do not be afraid to drizzle that olive oil. It is part of the medicine. If you find kale too bitter, try Tuscan kale, sometimes called lacinato or dinosaur kale. Its leaves are darker, flatter, and more tender, with a milder flavor. Roasting kale into chips can also transform its taste, turning it into a crunchy, satisfying snack that feels indulgent but is deeply nourishing. The beauty of adding kale is not just in the nutrients, it is in how you feel. Seniors who consistently eat more dark leafy greens often report smoother mornings, easier walks, and more consistent stamina throughout the day. It is the cumulative effect of less inflammation, stronger bones, and more efficient energy production. If this insight is helpful, I invite you to subscribe for more science-backed health strategies. Together, we are building a toolbox of foods and habits that can restore vitality and protect your future. So here is the first embrace. Make kale and other dark leafy greens like arugula or collards a regular guest at your table. They are not just vegetables, they are shields, batteries, and repair crews, working silently inside you to keep your joints gliding and your energy flowing. The second vegetable I want you to embrace may not seem glamorous, but it is one of the most powerful allies for your joints and energy: broccoli. Yes, this simple cruciferous vegetable that many of us grew up pushing around on our plates is actually a powerhouse of protective compounds. Here is what is really happening inside your body when you eat broccoli. Broccoli contains a natural chemical called sulforaphane. This compound has been studied extensively for its anti-inflammatory and antioxidant effects. In fact, sulforaphane works almost like a reset button for your immune system. It reduces the overactive signals that cause unnecessary inflammation while still allowing your body to defend against true threats. For seniors, this means less joint swelling, less stiffness, and a calmer internal environment. But that is just one layer. Broccoli also feeds your gut microbiome, those trillions of bacteria in your digestive system that play a central role in your health. When you eat broccoli, its fibers and plant chemicals become food for beneficial bacteria. In return, those bacteria produce short-chain fatty acids like butyrate, which travel through your bloodstream and lower inflammation throughout your body, including in your joints. Think of it as recruiting an army of helpers inside your gut that work day and night to protect your knees, hips, and shoulders. For energy, the story gets even more interesting. Those same short-chain fatty acids produced by your gut bacteria serve as fuel for your mitochondria, the tiny engines inside your cells. The more balanced and nourished your microbiome, the more efficiently your mitochondria create energy. This is why many seniors who add more cruciferous vegetables like broccoli report not only reduced pain, but also more steady vitality and fewer afternoon crashes. The research supports this connection. A 2018 study in the journal Science Translational Medicine found that sulforaphane from broccoli could slow cartilage breakdown in patients with osteoarthritis. Another large-scale analysis showed that diets rich in cruciferous vegetables were linked to lower inflammatory markers and better mobility outcomes in older adults. The evidence is clear. Broccoli is not just a side dish, it is a joint protector and energy stabilizer. So, how can you practically make broccoli work for you? First, cook it lightly. Overcooking broccoli destroys some of its sulforaphane. The best way to preserve it is steaming it for 3 to 5 minutes, or lightly sautéing it until it turns bright green but still has a bit of crunch. You can also enjoy it raw in salads, chopped finely and tossed with lemon juice and olive oil. Another trick, pair broccoli with mustard seeds or even a dash of mustard. Mustard contains an enzyme that helps your body activate sulforaphane, making the joint protective benefits even stronger. It is a simple, tasty upgrade you can add right on your plate. If plain broccoli feels boring, branch out into its cousins. Broccolini, Brussels sprouts, and cauliflower share many of the same compounds. Roasting them brings out sweetness, making them delicious and easy to enjoy regularly. Here is something worth picturing. Imagine your gut as a thriving garden. Broccoli is like the fertilizer that feeds the right plants, the ones that keep weeds from overtaking the soil. Over time, that thriving garden translates into less pain in your joints and more fuel for your energy. Seniors who begin to add a cup of cruciferous vegetables most days often notice changes within weeks: easier mornings, more flexibility, less bloating, and more consistent energy. It is not magic. It is biology responding to the signals you feed it. So the second embrace is this: bring broccoli and its cruciferous cousins into your daily rhythm. Think of them not as a side dish, but as part of your joint therapy and your energy plan. Every bite is like instructing your body to repair, to protect, and to power forward. The third vegetable I want you to embrace brings not just nourishment, but color and vibrancy to your plate. Red bell peppers. These bright vegetables are more than just a splash of color. They are loaded with compounds that directly support your joints and fuel your energy. Here is what is really happening inside your body when you eat red bell peppers. They are one of the richest natural sources of vitamin C, even higher than oranges. Vitamin C is not just an immune booster, it is absolutely essential for building collagen. Collagen is the protein scaffold that holds your joints together, cushions your cartilage, and keeps your connective tissue resilient. Imagine collagen as the scaffolding of a building. Without enough of it, the structure weakens. With plenty of it, the building stands tall and strong. For seniors, maintaining collagen is the key to keeping joints flexible and reducing wear and tear. But vitamin C also has another role. It acts as a powerful antioxidant, sweeping up free radicals that damage joint tissues and accelerate aging. Think of it as a cleaning crew moving through your body, mopping up the debris that would otherwise corrode your joints from the inside. Red bell peppers go even further. Their bright color comes from carotenoids such as beta-carotene and capsaicin. These compounds support circulation by keeping blood vessels flexible and reducing oxidative stress within artery walls. Better circulation means more oxygen and nutrients delivered right where you need them, into your joints, into your muscles, into your brain. It is like upgrading from a clogged water hose to a clean, powerful stream. Everything functions more smoothly, and energy flows more freely. Science strongly supports this. A 2020 study in the Journal of Nutrition showed that older adults with higher vitamin C intake had significantly less cartilage loss and lower risk of hip fractures. Another analysis found that carotenoid-rich vegetables were linked to improved physical performance and endurance in seniors due to their combined effects on collagen, circulation, and inflammation reduction. Now, how can you bring red peppers into your meals? The good news is they are versatile and delicious. Slice them raw into salads for a sweet crunch. Roast them in the oven with olive oil for a smoky flavor that pairs beautifully with fish or chicken. Blend them into soups for a velvety texture, or stuff them with quinoa and vegetables for a hearty, nutrient-packed main dish. Here is a simple morning upgrade. Add diced red peppers to your scrambled eggs or omelet. This way you start the day by fueling your collagen, supporting your circulation, and setting up steady energy for the hours ahead. If raw peppers bother your digestion, try cooking them lightly. Heat softens the fibers while preserving most of the vitamin C and carotenoids. And remember, the deeper the red color, the higher the concentration of protective compounds. Choose ripe, bright red peppers over the less mature green ones whenever possible. Picture it this way. Every time you eat a red bell pepper, you are delivering both building blocks and repair crews to your joints. You are also clearing the pathways, your blood vessels, so those crews can actually get where they need to go. The result is smoother movement, more resilient joints, and a surprising boost in day-to-day energy. Seniors who consistently add red peppers often describe not just less stiffness, but also greater stamina, the ability to walk longer, garden longer, or simply enjoy more of life's activities without that creeping fatigue. That is the power of circulation combined with collagen support. So here's the third embrace. Make red bell peppers a staple in your kitchen. They are not just a vegetable, they are a builder, a cleaner, and a circulatory booster, all working together to strengthen your joints and give you the vitality to do the things you love. We have covered a lot of ground together, so let us take a step back and see the bigger picture. Your joints and your energy are not just shaped by age, they are shaped by the daily choices you make at the table. Every bite you take sends signals to your immune system, your cartilage, your mitochondria, and even your blood vessels. And when you choose wisely, food becomes one of the most powerful medicines you have. We started by uncovering 3 vegetables that can quietly work against you. Nightshades like tomatoes and white potatoes for some seniors can fuel unnecessary inflammation and stiffen joints. Starchy vegetables like corn and peas can spike blood sugar, draining energy and accelerating joint damage. And high oxalate greens such as spinach and beet greens, though nutrient-rich, can bind minerals, irritate tissues, and rob you of comfort and vitality. Then we turn to the other side of the story, the vegetables that act as allies, protectors, and healers. Kale, with its vitamin K and antioxidants, strengthens bones and reduces oxidative stress. Broccoli, rich in sulforaphane, calms inflammation and nourishes your gut microbiome, creating energy from the inside out, and vibrant red bell peppers provide vitamin C and carotenoids that build collagen, improve circulation, and give your joints and muscles the support they need to keep moving. Here is the essence of it all. Your kitchen can be your pharmacy, and your meals can be your medicine. You do not need expensive supplements or complicated regimens. You need the wisdom to choose foods that whisper, heal, repair, energize,